Welcome to another episode of The Room Podcast, brought to you by NewEnglandMMA.org. Please follow, share, and enjoy the show, starting right now. Joining me in The Room Podcast to talk about his return to the Cage Titans cage and the New England fighting community is the king of the 135-pound division in New England, Jay the Joker Perrin. What's up, my man?
Oh, another day in paradise here in lovely Fairhaven, Massachusetts, in the South Coast.
Here we are back at the Cage Titans cage, and you were called out for this fight, coming back to the Cage Titans cage. You want to talk a little bit about that and how this fight with Lionel came about?
I mean, honestly, man, just let's mention all those people that have flack for me being the king. There's a lot of people that got a lot to say. You know what I mean? And the decision for Lionel was mostly, I was supposed to be fighting an apparent king on Saturday, but he decided to dick around for the fourth time. So I decided, you know what, dude, I'm done, chasing this person around, and, I don't want to cut the weight, to be honest, for non-UFC money or non-major promotion money. I didn't want to make another drastic cut as I did in the fight that got me cut from the UFC. So I was like, you know what, Lionel, let's do this. Lionel has had a bunch to say about how he's going to do this, that, or the other. And I have this, what I call a fuck you list of all the people that have had a lot to say about me. And I'm going to send them a contract, each one. So Lionel was just the first on the list because I knew Lionel, whether he shows up on weight or not, will at least show the fuck up. So how it came with Lionel was he just had a lot to say. He was a guy on my mind. Fine, fuck it. Let's go with that. It wasn't my first choice. My first choice is somebody whose name I'm not going to keep ringing to, because that's how they've become relevant, is for me to talk about them or for them to talk about me. So I'm done doing that. I'm supposed to fight that person. They decided to be a little bitch and do something else. So Lionel came up.
How excited are you to get in the cage and be able to scrap it up with some guy who's fought so many fighters, young and old, in the Cage Titans community?
I know what to expect from Lionel. You know what I mean? I know what kind of fight it's going to be. I see shades of my Kin Moy performance, if not a little bit better, coming for this one. A fight's a fight no matter where it's at, man. You know what I mean? And I think that the UFC kind of showed me that a little bit more, and that the glitz and the glam and the where and the why and the who doesn't really matter as long as the fight is happening. That's my haul, man. I've been there a bunch of times. I'm 5-0 inside that cage, 7-0 if we include my coaching. I own Plymouth Memorial Hall. You can say whatever the fuck you want, but I don't have a tie. I don't have a loss. I don't have anything in that cage. In fact, I think I've lost maybe one round in that cage, and that was to Diego Silva. And that was my worst performance in that cage, and I still won. So, I own that hall. It doesn't matter to me. It feels like home to me. So I'm going to go in there, and I've already done I do the visualization. I know how the crowd is going to be in the building. It feels good. I love Memorial Hall, if I'm honest. As much as I talk a bunch of shit. I've been around the country, and Cage Titans is probably one of the best productions of any regional promotion in the country, to be completely honest with you. So it's always nice to get back there and get back to the kingdom that I helped build. People really forget that I helped build what Cage Titans is today, and even off the back of me and Johnny Cupcakes started that whole fucking thing. So, it feels good to get back and back to where I started and what made me famous, I guess, or what made me successful in that place. Mike Polvert is always amazing to fight for. So I'm going to go in there and put on a show and remind everybody that I'm the fucking king. And if anybody has anything to say about it, ask anybody who's trying to fight who, because everybody's trying to fight me. And that seems like something a king only has. So if you're trying to fight me to get somewhere instead of the actual champion, well, then who's really the king? So doesn't matter. It's my hall, my place. It'll be my night on Saturday.
Well, my friend, you've been there doing commentary. Last card, you were kind of helping their media out there, running around, doing some, doing some stuff for them. Now you're getting back in that cage. You own that cage for so long, winning the title, defending the title, and then moving on to the UFC. That cage is something special. It's grown since you've been going. You only been going a year and a half or under 2 years, Jay. But you help build that community and the excitement that goes on there. But that has elevated since you've been going, and you've been a part of it in little spaces. You're fighting there again. They got a big stream going on, big dealership there, man. How excited and how proud are you of that community that you held that title for a while, man?
It's great to be a part of it, man. You know what I mean? And to have to watch everybody and watch there are people that were amateurs when I first became the champion that are in their pro careers now that are flourishing, and I get to watch all of this young talent. Not that I'm exactly an old buck, but I've been around for quite a while, and the skill level, especially of the younger generation or the newer wave of Cage Titans fighters, has just gotten so much better. Even the amateur fights, even down to the amateur fights, you see really precise, tactical. They know what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's not just a free for all so much anymore. So there's a lot more tact and a lot more skill, and it's really cool to see, man. It's cool to see the sport grow and watch these people grow from what they started at to where they are now. And I'm interested to see where they'll be in the next couple of years, because, my end is closer than it is further away. So eventually I'll be able to watch all of these people and be like, damn, man, this place has really grown. And I really do think that Cage Titans in the next few years even will be a national name, and that people will get LFA or, even CES and at one point were a really, really popular promotion nationally. And I think that Cage Titans will get that recognition very, very soon. So I think that the talent, the production has gotten just so much better. I think it's just a matter of time before you see that on the national stage. So it's actually really cool, to see where it started to go into the hall now, and the lights and the pageantry and the fighters have gotten better. And I got nothing but good things to say about it, to be honest. It's really, really, really been, Mike Polvert always does his job or goes above and beyond to try and make each show better than the last one. And, it's really cool to see. I'm actually very, very excited for that. I'm excited to be part of both the old gen and the new, and be one of those people that does both. That's been part of both, and could say that how far it's come.
Excellent. Well, my man, you mentioned being undefeated in that cage, and being undefeated as a corner man, a coach as well. When you were down living in Vegas and you were training at Syndicate, I believe you brought a couple of students, a couple of training partners here to fight for Cage Titans. Man, how I mean, you're still a young guy, Jay. I mean, you're 30 years old. You've been fighting forever. But you're 30 years old in age. That's, fighters are in their prime in the UFC right now at that age. But you're doing this, coaching, and I was watching, man. You're there. You were brought up well by a lot of great coaches in the area as well, man. How fun is that, and how stressful is that at the same time when you're doing it? The same thing that, it's going to be happening to you on the 22nd when someone's coaching you. What's that feeling like?
Dude, I really love coaching. I really, I've always been and my mom said this when I was younger, that I'm a natural teacher. I'm good at as being a teacher. And I think that I understand our sport really, really well. All that experience over the time that I've spent as a professional and just being a part of the sport has really helped me be able to work with different athletes and be able to coach them the way that is good for them. And but like you said, dude, I have a lot of good influences, I've made a lot of great connections in my career, as far as coaching and having knowledge passed down to me that I'm fortunate enough to be able to give back to people. And really at the end of my competition career, that is what I would like to do. I would like to be in the commentary booth, and I would like to be the analyst, but also a coach, and be able to guide people just as I was guided throughout my career, and try and be somebody that gives as much back to the sport as I can. Being in there as a coach is different. I sweat the same amount, but I don't know, having somebody watching somebody grow in front of you and win and work really hard, and maybe it's not your glory, but it's you know that you helped them get to that place is actually really special. And anybody that I've been fortunate enough to work with and have trusted me, it's gone well. You know what I mean? So just getting those reps in, and when I'm 35, 36, and it's like, you know what, man, I've had a good run. It's time to be done. I want to be able to remember my kids by the time I'm 60. Then I'll be able to have the reps to be able to say, hey, I can get you where you need to be. I've done this for a very long time. So, obviously that's the post-competition plan. Obviously right now, I'm still competing. So it'll take a back seat. And obviously when I'm not fighting, that's what I'll be doing. But yeah, man, it's cool. It is cool. I really do enjoy coaching, and I also enjoy the part of coaching where I can eat cake while they coach. And I can eat whatever the fuck I want to do.
Give that torture them a little bit. Torture them a little bit.
Yeah.
Get them mentally ready.
I mean, maybe not in the sauna, but on fighting,
it's all over. All right.
See Joe Lozon.
Yeah.
He's the worst.
I can imagine. Speaking of that, bro, that's what I'm getting to next. You had the 3 fights in UFC. You relocated to Las Vegas, the heart of fighting. You are back this way. You mentioned Fairhaven, which that's a nice place, man. I lived in Dartmouth for a while. I went to Fairhaven for a lot. It's not a bad place to be, man. But with that said, you are back in New England. Where are you getting most of your rounds and most of your training with? I know before you left, you were doing a lot with sit and a boxing gym. But where are you getting most of your work now?
I'm at Lozon MMA, baby, every single day, and it's not to like, I don't know, people think that I flip flop, and it really has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with, I live in Fairhaven. It's an hour away from fucking everything. You know what I mean? And it's just like a economic thing to not be able to go to Boston every day. On top of the fact that, in Boston, they don't really train every day. So, like, it's at Lozon's, I'm there every single morning. I'm the first fucking person there a lot of the time. And I'm one of the last people to leave. I'm there for 5 hours. I'm there every single day. Just working. And the Lozon crew has been really great and about just accepting me and doing whatever they can, man. Like Randy Costa and them have like really, really rallied around me and made sure that every session has purpose and we can improve something. And they're really a great group of people down there. And I'm very, very fortunate to have had them accept me for this camp. And I owe Joe and them quite a bit. So New England mixed martial arts is Lozon mixed martial arts. And I'm proud to represent them and all the help that they've given me. So it's been really good. And obviously, it's 20 minutes away. So
yeah,
it's easier for me to get to Lozon than anywhere else. But I do go occasionally work with like Rebello and them as well. And what I've been trying to do is just get as many looks from all the best people in New England as I can. And, I'm not doing the whole rivalry thing anymore, dude. I just want to get better. I've had people that were, former potential matchups that we've, gotten to spar, like me and John Duma, who have, not ever really traded barbs. I've never really had anything to say bad about him, but we both agreed that, it would be a really fun fight. And I've gotten to work with John and spar with him a little bit. And it was exactly as we had both predicted. It was fantastic. Those rounds were fantastic. And I learned a lot. And you know what I mean? And that's where I'm at. I'm just trying to make friends with everybody and not friends, but maybe just acquaintances and make sure I learn from everything. I want to be what New England MMA is. You know what I mean? I want to represent the best parts of it, from the grit to the technicality to, you know what I mean, to all of those things. And that comes from just getting different looks from all across the place. And I'm fortunate enough to have a base that allows me to do that.
Excellent. Well, last thing I want to ask you, man, is, what do we expect to see from you, Jay? You've been fighting the best in the world at the UFC. Now you're coming back home where, you were on a roll there, collecting heads at the Cage Titans cage. You say you're not going to get to the UFC by fighting Lionel, but eventually I know that's where you want to be, and you're going to be fighting, bigger opponents in bigger promotions. But until then, this night, 22nd, what do we expect to see from Jay, the Joker Perrin, returning to a cage he once owned, and as you say, you still own?
Pressure. You're gonna see pressure. I'm gonna go forward the whole fucking time. There's not gonna be a single second that I'm not in Lionel's face because we all know that he folds under pressure. I'm going forward, man. I got, you know what I mean. I've held myself back so much, just trying to overanalyze fucking everything, and that's been the story of my career, man. I overthink things, and when I overthink things, I can't display the level of skill I really have. You know, if you see me in the gym, you watch me just kind of flow and have a good time, and I'm a fucking murderer when it comes to that. So I'm gonna flow in there, man. Like I said, shades of Kid Moy. If you look at the Kid Moy fight, I am having the fucking time of my life in that fight. You can see the smile on my face in between rounds, and that's kind of how I feel now, man. Like it's not that I don't have nerves. You know, everybody has nerves before they get into a fist fight, but like I am supremely confident in how prepared I am to fight Lionel, and I know in every way, shape, and form that I am a better fighter than him, and that he's just a little bigger than me. I'm going to go forward. We're going to give you a slugfest, and I'm guaranteeing a late first or a second round finish. I'm going to touch him in a place that he doesn't, you know what I mean? I'll touch him in his rib cage. He's going to fall down. There's a certain formula to beat Lionel, and I've watched it over and over and over. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to finish him, man. I send a message to say, hey, Dad is still here. You know what I mean? Dad's still home. And when I do come back, everybody's getting their ass whooped for talking wrong. And that's basically it. You know, people are gonna say whatever they want about me, dude. I keep getting this whole like people are rooting against you thing, and dude, I used to care. I don't give a shit. I just don't give a shit. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna do and that's what made me successful, Steve. Was that before I blocked out all that noise and made it a point to laugh at them because it's like, all right, well, either way, whether you like me or you don't, I'm gonna go in there and beat your friend up, and that's what I plan to do on Saturday. I'm going to roll, baby. That's it. I'm going to flow, have the fight come to me, and enjoy myself. And in that, I'm going to find my finish on Lionel because I don't quit. I'm not going to just turn tail as soon as it gets, adversity hits me. And we know that certain people do and certain people don't. So we're going to find out in the first couple of exchanges which each one of us are made of. And I've seen my blood and eaten it in a cage. So I'm ready to go, baby. I'm ready to enjoy myself. It's a great fight week. I got less than 10 pounds and no worries. So can't wait. It's going to be a good time. I'm going to beat the shit out of this guy and then go home and enjoy my lovely family.
Well, there you go, man. It's been a while, Jay, except I, had a little chat with you when they announced the fight at Cage Titans 59. Yeah. But, being able to talk to you about a fight coming up and a local fight, I want to see you back in the UFC, but I'm a selfish guy. Yeah. I like seeing you fight locally. And, I like how you speak. You're a gift of gab and you back it all up. So with that said, my man, congratulations on being back and fighting in your backyard. And with that said, sponsors, social media, thank yous, anything you want to say before I let you go. And it's fight week, baby. A few more days and
fight week.
We're back.
Honestly, man, like I only have a couple of sponsors and that's cool. It happens. The Ink Club in Hudson, New Hampshire is my tattoo parlor. All my good work. Go see Steve McCara for that if you want to. It's up in Hudson, New Hampshire, but you won't be disappointed. And one of my first sponsors ever that was like a product sponsor when I first got on the scene was Battle Wounds Apparel. And Brian has always been very, very supportive of me in my career. So those are the two patches you'll see on my shorts. Social media, Joker _gang 35 on Twitter and on Instagram. I don't really have much to plug, but I do have something to say. We lost somebody that was very important to me recently in the Cage Titans community as well. Everybody already knows this, but my friend Arthur decided that it was time to go. Not less than a month ago, and I've said this for a really, really long time on a lot of different places, and maybe people don't buy into it, but please, man, please stop making your friends bury you, and before we can figure out what can happen. I've buried six of my friends now to suicide, and I can't do it anymore, guys. I can't. I really can't. Please call somebody, anybody. We'll figure it out. I would rather listen to you cry uncontrollably for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours than go to your funeral and put flowers on your grave. So please, even if it's me, even if we don't fucking like each other, man, like if you don't, I got no hate in my heart for anybody anymore. I really don't. So if you need me, if Joey Starnuts called me today and said, hey, I'm standing on top of a roof and I'm about to do it, I would sit there and talk with him until he fucking got off the roof. You know what I mean? So please call somebody. We can work it out. We can find a way to make it better. Brainstorm. It might not get fixed in a day, but we can fix it. I promise. And if not, then we'll get you the help you need. But if you're struggling, it's okay. If you think that nobody cares about you, you're wrong, man. You're so wrong. So please reach out to somebody if you're having a hard time. And please don't make us go to your funeral before your life even begins. That's it.
There you go, my friend. And I know it's going to be a special night on the 22nd. I'm positive Cage Titans is going to be doing something in memorial to him. So, man, it's going to be a special night, Jay. Going to see you back.
Yep.
And, man, Cage Titans, ready to go, man. Cage Titans 60. Love those.
Gang.
Love those.
My crown, bitch. Surprise, motherfucker.